Hello, my name is Taisha, and I am not here with an update, but I wanted to do a what I eat in a day video. I've been asked what a typical day of eating looks like for me, and even though I post everything on Instagram, maybe there's people who don't have that or whatever, so I'm going to do a video. Today is Thursday, June 13th, and it is currently 9:23. So I've already gone for a walk. I've been going for morning walks for an hour with a friend, and I am a peanut butter fanatic. So you can see this is probably going to get finished up, but what I do is I weigh everything that I eat out. I just started eating a certain way. I wasn't tracking that, but I was weighing everything. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, let me see where this is falling. And so a typical day for me, I fall anywhere between, gosh, it can go from 15 to 1800 calories, but I think I average about 16 in that range a day. So I am going to start off with this Simple Truth organic peanut butter powder. I use 48 grams. 48 grams would equal, it's considered 4 servings, and that would be 200 calories. And you know what? Instead of me trying to do math in my head, I'm just gonna post that. So I I'm gonna use a yellow bowl today. Turn this on. And I weigh everything in grams. There's no specific reason other than that's just what I like to do. I'm going to take this, I'm going to add some water. With 48 grams, I typically add about a 1/3 cup of water. I had been free, just like doing it without measuring, but just for purposes of anyone that may want to try this, it's about a 1/3 cup of water. So I'm gonna go over here to the fridge and get that. And it gets a pretty decent consistency. I don't like it too thick because I am gonna end up adding chia seeds to it, but I also don't like it like super watery or soupy or anything like that. See the consistency, right? And now I'm going to reset this and add 15 grams of chia seeds. You kind of see what that looks like, right? It's not runny. It will move, but it's not like too thick. And then what I do is I spread it around the sides. Again, not something you need to do. It's just something I do. And I'll show you why in a moment. So it's kind of like a cup in there, or like a little bowl. And I'm gonna set that here, and I'm gonna reset it again. And grab the blueberries. So I just use Simple Truth organic blueberries, frozen. I get it from Kroger. I'm going to use 140 grams. So with 48 grams of peanut butter powder, 15 grams of chia seeds, and 140 grams of blueberries. Probably have 2 more servings left in here. There you go. Just a bowl of peanut butter, chia seeds, and blueberries. So that'll be my first meal of the day. And then what I do, let me turn this off, is I take a picture of it and then I put it on Instagram. So give me a second. And the reason I do this is because it also shows on it, like what time I'm eating everything. And again, there's no I'm not on this set schedule, but if if some time goes by, it's a good way of me saying, okay, this is the last time you ate. So if it's been a few hours and I know, okay, you probably should get something, because I haven't still since starting this felt like any kind of deep hunger or anything, but I like to keep track and make sure that I'm, you know, eating kind of spaced out. So when I do this, take it, and then I add it to Instagram. So that's it for this first meal. The next time I eat, well, you'll see it. The time lapse won't be the same for you. So that is peanut butter, chia seeds, and blueberries. And I am still awkward at this, so please bear with me. All right, it's time for lunch. So I am going to make chickpeas or bonzo beans. What I do is I usually have a can. So the little concoction that I made of quinoa and tofu, I make a big batch and then I portion it out. So I usually have 200 grams of that, and I'll put the nutritional information for that. You'll see it up there. But I add a can of chickpeas to that, and I love roasting them. It's called roasted, but baking, whatever. I'm going to rinse these with cold water. I already have the oven preheated and the pan with the or the baking sheet with the parchment paper. So guys, I'll get better at this. I'm still a little awkward at I'm still pretty awkward with this, but I'll get better. All right, so everything is clear. Now I see people do all kinds of stuff. I'm super simple. See people take the outer parts off. I don't do any of that. I started off that way, and then I also don't use oil or anything anymore, but I started off doing that, and I don't know, I just don't feel like doing it, and I haven't done that in probably months. So I add some sea salt. You can use whatever you like. I just really keep it simple. So I have the sea salt. And then I just dump it on here. Dump it on. Then I'm going to make sure it's spread out. Right. And I do 15 minutes and then I shake it up and then I do another 15 minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes.
Sure, 15 minutes. And we're starting now.
All right. So now we just wait. So after this first 15 minutes goes, it'll be the halfway point. I'll shake it up. And then since I already pre-made the quinoa and tofu, it's actually probably the last serving of the last batch that I made. I will, when it's about 2 minutes left, I'll put that in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds and then mix it all together and we'll have lunch. So yeah, you'll see the timer. Tofu and a quinoa blend. I'm gonna add this can of chickpeas. Okay, so we have the quinoa, tofu, and chickpeas. And now I'm going to take a picture for Instagram as usual. And then I'm gonna eat. So let's see. All right. Okay, I told you guys I'm gonna progressively get better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just tell you all the ingredients, then I'll make it and I'll have displayed, what I'm using. So I'm gonna make banana pancakes, and I take 1 cup of oats and I'm gonna blend it up. Then I use a 1/4 cup of milk, vanilla soy milk, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and a tablespoon of maple syrup. And then I have this banana that's been chilling in the fridge for a couple of days. So I also typically use a teaspoon of vanilla, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna be making this without it. All right. Okay, so meal number 3 is done, and that'll be 2 banana pancakes. And I am out of tofu, and I haven't made a batch of quinoa. So for my last meal, that's what I'm gonna do. Excuse me. I'm gonna make a batch of quinoa, and well, anyway, I'll tell you about it when I get to that part. But for dinner, I'm gonna have quinoa with black beans and onions. So. All right. All right, it's time for the last meal of the day, and it's gonna be quinoa. So I have the red quinoa, and I guess this would just be called regular quinoa, and 2 onions that I'm gonna chop up. Now this is a staple, this organic Better Than Bouillon vegetable base, it's a staple here, but I wanted to kind of branch out and try something different. So I've got this Better Than Bouillon Italian herb. So we'll see how that goes. My microphone is positioned weird. All right, so I'm going to prepare all of this, and I'm going to put it into my rice cooker. I have a quinoa setting, so it's just a matter of preparing everything and letting it do its thing. All right, here we go. Okay, we finally reached the last one of the day, and as you see, it's a quinoa blend with onions and some black beans. So it was 200 grams of the quinoa blend and 130 grams of black beans. So that is the last one for today. And again, I will get better at this. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. Hopefully it wasn't too painful. And you guys will see me tomorrow for my weekly update video. So have a great night.